You'll hear other forms of sovereignty being talked about sometimes with other people, not as much now, but before they used to have this thing called federal recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And that was talked about because Native Americans have that status with the United States where they have their own type of sovereignty, but which is underneath the United States jurisdiction. So they have reservations, but if federal agents wanted to go onto their reservation to go chase down, somebody that ran from them, they don't need to ask their government if they can enter their nation. But if they was to chase somebody down in Canada, they would have to ask Canada if they can come in.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that federal recognition is not enough sovereignty for us because it doesn't give us that jurisdiction to be the ultimate authority, whether to say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
With independence, it does. And also, when America apologized for overthrowing our government, they apologized for overthrowing an independent nation,
Mm-hmm.
not a tribe that they governed over as well. You know what I mean? It's like taking in your Lamborghini to the shop and then they tell you, oh, come pick up your car, and you're pulling out one Toyota Corolla and they go, oh, here's your car. They're like, no, this is not my car. You go, no, it got four wheels and windows and
Close
doors.
enough.
Yeah, it's close, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a less than
Mm-hmm.
form of government, and to me that's the difference between federal recognition and independence. Like, I don't want the Corolla. I want the Lamborghini because
Mm-hmm.
that's what you apologize for taking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you gave me the official apology bill over here, and it's really long. I've never actually seen it before
Yeah.
or read it. One of the cool things, I mean, they go over so many things. Whereas.
Yeah.
One of the cool things is it says like the term it explains the term Native Hawaiian. It says as used in this joint resolution, the term Native Hawaiian means any individual who is a descendant of the Aboriginal people who prior to 1778 occupied and exercised sovereignty in the area that now constitutes the state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's always interesting for me to hear definitions of what a Hawaiian is
Mm,
because we get opinions about what it is,
right.
but to see it actually written down, like if I went to vehevehe.org and it said Hawaiian, or if I see something like that, then I feel like it's just it's something that we can reference,
Right.
So a lot of it, when we explain, oh, what's a Hawaiian to you, we give our definition of what a Hawaiian is to me, to you, to somebody else, right?
Right.
But it's interesting for me to read that and see like, oh, Aboriginal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, because as we get older and generations and generations come, you're gonna have people that are gonna try and assimilate and be us.
Mm-hmm.
You're already seeing it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes we gotta define these things, not to like separate us or not to make us feel like, but to defend, like, I had a Hawaiian ancestor. This is my lineage. This is my mo'oku'auhau.
Mm-hmm.
This is what ties me here to this aina. And then this is why it's important for you to hear the stories and the dance that I come from. It's not just because I look Hawaiian now I can be Hawaiian, or I hang out with Hawaiians, I'm Hawaiian too. No, we have to make sure that we understand what the mo'oku'auhau is of this person speaking,
Mm-hmm.
because the ike and the mana'o of our people go back, all the way to the beginning of time, and it's tied to this land. And so we got to understand that, sometimes they're able to tap into that and tell us things from way back. Like, I do this a lot when I'm talking, is like, I feel like I'm channeling my ancestors because, I just start blabbering and, you know this, I mean, I just keep going, but I feel like that's my kupuna speaking through me about things that they want us to hear. And like, if you cannot do that, like, that's not, or you cannot connect to that ancestor, then and you're pretending to be Hawaiian, that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody should be proud of who they are, whether they're Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
Filipino, Chinese. You know what I mean? Everybody should be proud. You shouldn't be pretending to be other people. But to me, the apology law is like, the reason why it's important is it's It's one of 5 apologies that America has ever given in its 250-year history of shenanigans, of overthrowing governments, of, creating, I mean, basically, I mean, doing genocide to a lot of different people. It's happening still yet to this day. But we have this apology that got turned into a law. And I don't know if you guys ever understand like how laws get created. I mean, people rarely see it today because these Congress people cannot get together to actually make laws anymore because everybody is fighting. But we got a law passed that says that the Hawaiian people have never relinquished their sovereignty over their lands, over their identity themselves. It also says that we had 1.8 million acres stolen from us without compensation to us. 1.8 million acres is all the ceded lands in Hawaii. It's the entire state of Hawaii land inventory. It's the airport, it's the stadium, it's these buildings downtown, the palace, where we're at, where we occupied at Makapu'u. And it's important for our people to understand that this apology wasn't just some, where you make them like Bruno Mars Day kind and like, it's just like this nominal thing. No, it's law. It can never be like pulled away. This is fact. Every whereas clause that you read inside this apology law is a finding of fact through Congress. So they had to fact check all of these things. So everything that is said in this apology law, and you can read through them, there's about 37 whereas clauses. It seems long, but really, like I never went to the University of Hawaii to learn Hawaiian studies. I never went to any kind of formal education. I barely graduated high school. My entire sovereignty education is in this law. Everything I know, everything I talk about, and then the experience that I've had utilizing this law to exercise that sovereignty on the lands that we're doing. That's my entire knowledge of Hawaiian sovereignty. And, not to like, I mean, like boost my own ego, but I can talk about sovereignty with anybody in the world on any panel because this is my foundation.
You're an
Apology
expert
law.
in it. You put your
I'm a,
10,000 hours into
yeah,
it.
yeah. I put my 10,000 hours in it. I can talk on this level with the professors, with government officials, or I can talk brada right now because it's something I live. But that foundation is rooted in this law, and a lot of people don't give this law enough attention. And I think, for our people, understanding this law is not just to like check them off your box and say, okay, oh, now that I know the law, I get sovereignty. Well, if you don't believe in the law, you read it and all that, but you don't really believe in it, then you're not there yet. So the idea is to read the law, maybe read them a couple times. It took me a while to really feel like the way I feel about it. But once you get it, or once you're in a room and you pull this out, so whether you're in like one room with one government official and all that, and this happens to me a lot when I'm talking to different government officials when they kind of push back on like, I talked to some guys like, in the legislature, like, we doing anything for reconciliation this year for Hawaiians? Are you guys, is that on the menu and stuff? Oh, I don't know. We didn't really consider it. We got the Trump cuts we're dealing with, and then before was COVID, and there's always some sort of excuse. I go, well, you know that there's a law, right, that mandates you to do this. You go, oh, what law? And I pull out the apology law. Because they thinking we coming with kingdom law, and then we're going to come with, this is from the Hague, or this is the Genocide Act, and, this is from the UN. No, 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 no. I come into you with your own law and your own authority. You need to understand that this is backed. All my actions that I'm doing right now is not backed by kingdom law or my own entitled opinion of what my family is owed. I'm talking about something that you guys already admitted that you were supposed to do for our people. When is this going to happen?
Yep, you got the receipts.
Got the receipts,
I
gangy.
keep receipts.
It's happening, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah, and it's cool to learn more about this, and also just the history of like America's only apologized 5 times in their whole entire history, and something that you said yesterday too, that America hasn't even apologized to, a lot of the Native Americans. They haven't even apologized for slavery,
Yeah.
but they apologized to us,
Yeah.
which is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that they haven't apologized for slavery, and I think you said because they can. There's what is it like?
You can still make the argument that
Argument, yeah.
slavery was okay.
Yeah.
Like one of Martin Luther King's dreams was that African Americans would actually get an apology from the United States because his lawyers was telling him too, like, if they apologize for slavery, then you guys can have reparations. Like, we can go through with the process, but if we constantly like arguing about whether it was good or bad, you never get to that point. Like I was telling you yesterday, reconciliation, is a big word. Reconciliation is to make right something, right?
No.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
No, it's not.
Oh, my bad. Continue. My bad.
But reconciliation is basically when you make right with somebody that's been hurt. And it's a hard thing to happen because people are constantly arguing about the details of what got hurt, what got lost, what is this, what is that. And so that is sometimes used by the people that hurt the other guys as a way to stall the reconciliation process. So even before they start talking, they're going to argue about, oh, you guys never really lost this. Oh, you guys never really lost that. And then they just keep going back and forth. The longer they take, the longer it's never going to happen. But with the apology law, they admit to all these things that we can at least start the conversation there. Because reconciliation starts when two people get to a table to sit down and talk about how we're going to fix this. But if we're constantly arguing about the table, then it'll never happen. The apology law is that table for the reconciliation discussion to begin. And that's where we'd like to start at all times, because they already admit in the apology law, something that us as Hawaiians and the United States can agree is we never relinquish our sovereignty. It's in the law. Legally, Hawaiians have never relinquished our sovereignty. So guess what, Hawaiian? Your sovereignty still is inside you. If we form one government, we don't need to go back to the United States and ask them if that's okay or not, or ask the state of Hawaii if that's okay. If we want to do it, we have the legal right to do it, not just under international law, but also United States law. It's a federal law. We have our sovereignty. 2, it also says that they took 1.8 million acres from our people illegally, meaning the 1.8 million acres is ours. We have an undivided interest to all of that. These are things that is foundational to reconciliation because already the United States agreed and we agreed. The reason why reconciliation hasn't happened yet for our people is we stay at the table that we agreed to, but the other guy, the government, whoever it is pretending like they don't know where the table stay. Is walking around, stalling basically.
Like
yeah, exactly.
What did you say? It's like you did an example of like the
blind guy.
person. That's what Uncle Bumpy basically did, right? He's just trying to feel around, see what the limits are, right?
Yeah. And these guys pretending like they're blind, like they don't know where the table is, right?
How much can they get away with until they get caught?
Exactly. Yeah. So the trick now is how do we leverage them to the table? What do we do to bring the state or the United States to the table to begin these discussions for reconciliation?
We parent trap them.
What you mean by that?
I just the movie Parent Trap where they pretend to get two people like the parents
set them up.
They get divorced and then they bring them to the same place. So we get the two sides and we say you're going to this to watch the new Superman movie or something, and then they come, we're gonna watch the Superman movie, and then boom, you gotta go talk to each other.
That's the way.
Hey, I'm just the idea guy.
Hey, we need more
I'm just
ideas.
The idea guy.
We need more ideas than less ideas. We'll try that one day.
Yeah, okay. I'll take credit for it.
Yeah.